Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some insane battles in the Great League featuring the Wrong Charge Move Challenge. These battles were submitted by a fellow content creator, Callum on Toast, so many thanks for the battle submission. The team features Shadow Swampert with Muddy Water instead of Hydro Cannon, Shadow Nidoqueen with Stone Edge and Earthquake, and Shadow Walrein with Blizzard instead of Icicle Spear. And despite the crazy movesets, he's able to get some great wins. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out the Wrong Charge Move Challenge in action in the Great League. Nightmare lead in the first match, Shadow Swampert into Shadow Victory Bell. Save switch into the Nidoqueen, but without Poison Fang to lower the opponent's defense, these Razor Leafs are doing a lot more damage than the Poison Jabs. Shadow Victory Bell shields once and is able to farm down. Nidoqueen was able to get the Victory Bell quite low though, and now that should hopefully set up Walrein to be able to farm down. This is easily enough for a Leaf Blade, shields up, but unfortunately the opponent went for an Acid Spray. You hate to see it. Opponent brings in Wigglytuff, Walrein trying to get to a move, opponent brings in Bastiodon, it looks like the opponent is just fully sacrificing the Bastiodon, Earthquake, massive damage, and now it's all up to Shadow Swampert, but with no Hydro Cannon, this may come down to a Muddy Water bait, and then an Earthquake. He's going for it, going for the Muddy Water bait, Muddy Water gets the shield from the Wigglytuff, Shadow Swampert able to reach the Earthquake, and that will be game over. Earthquake will be taken down the Wigglytuff, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Shadow Swampert into Jellicent. Jellicent definitely a bit of a problem Pokemon for this team. Swampert farming up, but Jellicent is going to be able to outpace, and this is enough for a Shadow Ball. Lets it go, and it's a Bubble Beam, an absolutely massive read. Even when debuffed, this Earthquake will do massive damage. Earthquake gets a shield from the Jellicent. Jellicent continues to farm up and fire off another move. Another no shield from the Shadow Swampert, as this Jellicent is just firing off Bubble Beam after Bubble Beam after Bubble Beam. This double debuffed Earthquake is still going to do a ton of damage. Jellicent is going to fire off one final Bubble Beam. The Jellicent able to win switch, but they lose a lot of HP and they're now down a shield. Brings in Shadow Walrein, opponent brings in Galarian Stunfisk, goes for the Rock Slide catch, but the opponent holds onto their energy, and now things are looking a little scary. Shields up, and does shield the Earthquake. That's huge. With no Poison Fang to bait with, may as well go straight for the Earthquake. Do they respect the damage? They do not, and down goes the Stunfisk. Back in comes Jellicent, and this is enough for a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball would be doing massive damage here. Shadow Ball takes out the Shadow Nidoqueen. Walrein goes for the farm down. In the back, it is Registeel. Things not looking great here. Needs to land the Earthquake, but they end up shielding. And with no move to bait with, this is looking like a good game because Registeel can just go straight Zap Cannon, and this will be game over. He recognizes it, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Shadow Swampert into Bastiodon, the absolute dream lead. Opponent immediately save switches into a Shadow Victory Bell, which will be met with the Shadow Nidoqueen. But as we've seen, without Poison Fang, Shadow Nidoqueen cannot apply nearly as much pressure in this matchup. Able to get the shield from that Shadow Victory Bell, but Victory Bell is able to flip switch. And now, things not necessarily looking nearly as good. In comes Shadow Walrein looking to farm down. Has to respect the potential Leaf Blade. Opponent does go for the Leaf Blade, but now the Bastiodon is going to be aligned onto the Walrein. In comes the Bastiodon. Walrein farming up and going to be going straight for the Earthquake. No bait moves, so no reason to bait. Earthquake able to land aggressive switch into Swampert, and in the back is Sableye going straight for the Earthquake. No baiting here. Do they respect it? They do not. Get absolutely one shot, and that will be game over. Shadow Swampert shields up the Stone Edge, mud shots down the Bastiodon, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Shadow Swampert into another Shadow Victory Bell. Absolutely terrible lead. Again, going to save switch into Shadow Nidoqueen. Opponent farms up and then counter swaps into Greedent. Firing off the Earthquake on the CMP tie. Earthquake does get the shield. That is quite unfortunate. I was really wanting to see that land. Greed goes for the body slam, and that's going to be taking down the Shadow Swampert. Shadow Swampert, I think you kind of have to bring it in here versus the Greedent. The Bullet Seeds are hitting for double super effective damage, but at the very least, Bullet Seed is not a particularly strong move in terms of damage. So Swampert is actually in an okay spot here. Swampert going straight for the Earthquake. Muddy Water will not cut it, and Earthquake is able to KO. Back in comes the Victory Bell, met with the Walrein. Walrein able to get some nice farm, and now in comes Azumarill. Walrein firing off the Earthquake. Earthquake able to connect onto the Azumarill. You just have to really hope that Azu decides to call a bait and that Walrein is going to be able to land this Earthquake. It's going to be close. Walrein going for the second Earthquake. Come on, opponent. Please call the bait. They do! They call the bait! Walrein gets farmed down by Victory Bell. Victory Bell left with the move, and that is going to be a heartbreaking loss as Leaf Tornado takes down the Swampert. And that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Shadow Swampert into Defense Deoxys. Pretty neutral lead across the board, but Psycho Boost is going to do quite a lot. DD goes straight for the Psycho Boost. They save switch into a Walrein, and Walrein is going to be met with the Earthquake. Earthquake from Swampert does get a shield from Walrein, and now with the shield advantage, he can very safely bring in his own Walrein. He is going to get outpaced here, but one Earthquake is not going to be enough to KO. Lets it through. That does quite a lot of damage though, and he's going to fire back with an Earthquake of his own. As we've seen, this is not lethal, but it is going to be getting the opponent's Walrein deep into the red. Opponent farming up quite a bit, and this is one downside of not having Icicle Spear, is you can't fire off an Icicle Spear to get some chip damage. And now, honestly, you could probably get some nice farm with the Nidoqueen. Brings in the Nidoqueen and barely able to farm down. That's huge. Nidoqueen with a shield advantage and an energy lead is incredibly deadly. Back in comes the Deoxys. Deoxys going for another Psycho Boost. Nidoqueen is going to be shielding it up. And the Nidoqueen farming up, going straight for the Earthquake. Do they respect the damage? They do not get one shot, and in the back is Registeel. Nidoqueen in a prime position to close out this match. Going for the Earthquake, no baits here. Earthquake takes down the Registeel, and that is a good game. Great lead in the next match, Shadow Swampert into Galarian Stunfisk. Opponent is going to save switch into Pelipper, which is going to be met with Walrein, but with no Icicle Spear, this matchup isn't nearly as good as it typically would be. Calls the bait, gets hit with the Hurricane, and that does massive damage. Unable to reach the Blizzard, only able to fire off the Earthquake, and just like that, Pelipper is able to win switch. Brings back in the Swampert, but Muddy Water is not going to be doing a lot of damage in this matchup. Pelipper able to land the Weather Ball. Swampert over-farming as much as it can and going to be firing off the Muddy Water. Is this going to be enough to take out the Pelipper? Yes, it barely is. In the back, they have Tropius, and now it is 2-shield Galarian Stunfisk versus Nidoqueen. One win con, go straight for the Earthquake. Does the opponent respect it? They do not! They get absolutely one shot, and the wrong charge move team continues to win. Hopping to the next match, leading Shadow Swampert into another Deoxys. Opponent save switches into a Charmalolan Ninetales, which is going to be met with Shadow Nidoqueen. With no Poison Fang, Nidoqueen actually gets outpaced by the Charmer and is forced to commit the shield. Nidoqueen farms down, leaves with a ton of energy. Opponent brings in Mandibuzz, and Nidoqueen is going for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge actually gets the shield. Opponent respecting the nuke move, but Nidoqueen just has too much energy. Able to reach a second Stone Edge, and this one is able to connect. Mandibuzz is going to be forced to throw a move, and this is perfect farm down range for the Shadow Walrein. In comes Walrein, Walrein able to farm down. And now, it's just the Deoxys left in the back. Walrein staying in, farming up, going straight for the Blizzard. Does the opponent respect the Blizzard damage? They do not. Look at the damage onto Deoxys. Oh my goodness. Shields up the Thunderbolt, farms down the Deoxys, and that is another incredible win. Tough lead in the next match, Shadow Swampert into Walrein. But with Nidoqueen in the back, kind of can't switch out here. Walrein is going to fire off the Icicle Spear. Shadow Swampert able to tank it. Overfarming and goes for the Earthquake on the CMP tied to the next Icicle Spear. Earthquake gets the shield, and at this point, you just let the Swampert go. Swampert has done its job. It's gotten some nice chip damage and gotten a shield advantage, and now he can bring in his own Walrein. Farming up, going for the Earthquake, but unfortunately going to be outpaced here. Earthquake will do quite a bit of damage, but he's able to tank it, and now he can overfarm by a decent amount and then fire off his own Earthquake. Thanks to the chip damage, this should be enough to take down the opponent, and we'll have to see what they have in the back. Opponent brings in a Azumarill and an immediate switch into Shadow Nidoqueen. These poison jabs really adding up. Azu is going to be firing off the Ice Beam. Nidoqueen shields up the Ice Beam. Opponent switches, and in the back they have Sableye, and there's no way Sableye shields this. Earthquake takes down the Sableye, and that should be game over as Nidoqueen now going for the aggressive poison jab down. Azu is going to be firing off a move. Nidoqueen shields the Ice Beam, farms down the Azumarill, and that is a good game. Off a lead in the next match, Shadow Swampert into Abomasnow. And honestly, Abomasnow has a ton of play against this entire team, so this is going to be a very tough match. Opponent opts to go straight Weather Ball, tanks it no problem, farms up, switch, and a very nice catch, able to catch the Weather Ball onto the Shadow Walrein. Walrein tanks that no problem, and the opponent is going to respond with a Snarl Alolan Muck. Muck is going to be able to output a nice amount of damage here with Dark Pulse, but Walrein is extremely tanky, able to absorb it, overfarms, and going straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake able to land, taking out the Muck. Back in comes Abomasnow. Abomasnow looking for the farm down. Walrein going for the Blizzard. Oh my goodness. Do they respect the Blizzard? Yes, they do. Absolutely heartbreaking. I wanted to see that Abomasnow get vaporized. Back in comes Swampert. Swampert able to win CMP over the Abomasnow, fire off the Earthquake, and get the final shield. And now it is Shadow Nidoqueen versus the world. Shadow Nidoqueen has 2 shields, but this Abomasnow is absolutely loaded on energy. Nidoqueen shields up the first Weather Ball, and Abomasnow is at a second one as well. Nidoqueen looks like should be able to farm down before they reach a third. In the back is Politoed though, and this Weather Ball is going to hurt. Weather Ball able to connect and does get Nidoqueen quite low. Nidoqueen farming up and able to reach the Earthquake. Earthquake is going to be doing massive damage, taking down the Politoed. In comes Abomasnow. It's a race and it's a simultaneous KO. Hopping into the final match, setting Shadow Swampert into Umbreon. This is typically a fairly neutral matchup across the board, but with no Hydro Cannon, Swampert is definitely in a difficult spot here. No baiting here, Swampert going straight for the Earthquake, and it's able to connect, and an immediate save switch into the Shadow Walrein. Walrein is going to be able to tank this energy quite well. This Umbreon is running Dark Pulse, and then they're going to respond with Beedrill. Walrein trying to reach a move, but falls just short. Beedrill going for the X-Scissor. X-Scissor, barely not enough to KO, and Walrein is able to reach the Earthquake. Earthquake, able to land, but not quite enough damage to take out the Beedrill, so unfortunately not able to win switch. Back in comes Shadow Swampert, able to farm down. Back in comes Umbreon. Umbreon is going to be able to reach a move. Dark Pulse will not KO, but it's going to do a ton of damage. And then an immediate switch into the Shadow Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen looking for the farm down. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get there before Umbreon reaches a move. Shields up the Dark Pulse. In the back, it's Swampert. Nidoqueen going straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake able to connect. Nidoqueen is a Swampert counter confirmed. And that is a good game. All in all, I was extremely impressed with Callum's ability to still get wins against some extremely meta teams, despite the fact that he wasn't allowed to use the correct charge moves on his own Pokemon. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.